Hello, I'm Julie Malcolm, Founding Director and Secretary of the Julie Malcolm Foundation, and this is my story. Concerning our background or current status and our relationship issues with the Companies Office of Jamaica. The Julie Malcolm Foundation is duly registered with the Companies Office of Jamaica and the Department of Cooperatives and Friendly Societies to serve Jamaicans at home and abroad in terms of assisting them with their educational expenses and offering participation in the performing and the visual arts. We began in 2018 primarily because of two reasons. One, I was pursuing my PhD in forensic linguistics through a Master of Philosophy at the University of the West Indies, MONA, and I had been the recipient of a departmental award that allowed for my educational expenses to be covered. As a church girl, Jesus principle, you give as you receive. And so I wanted to bless somebody who was also having challenges with tuition. In addition to that reason, at that time in 2018, I had started to have challenges with the University of the West Indies in that my research supervisor had participated in unethical actions that resulted in my PhD journey being sabotaged. That matter is still in the courts. I am still dealing with it. And so those were the two reasons. The second one being therapy for me. I believe I received as much benefit as I allowed the organization, the foundation, to benefit others. And during that period, we provided scholarships and grants. There was one scholarship and grants. There was one scholarship offered to the Excelsior High School. That's the last high school that I had taught at prior to 2018 and the start of the foundation. Mr. Damian Clark was allowed to complete a 2-year sixth form program at Excelsior. And regarding cash grants, there were some Excelsorians who were still at the school, those who had moved on to University of Technology Jamaica and the University of the West Indies, and there was one other individual who was associated by affiliation with an Excelsorian who was attending the Exed Community College. And so those students, having participated in the work of the foundation, which was a play, which was written, directed, and produced by me, making use of my Edna Manley Jamaica School of Drama training, which I got a scholarship to pursue. Those students who participated in that activity got cash grants to aid toward their university experience or their high school and college experiences. And so that's how we started, that's where we were. Since 2018, thereabout, the foundation has ceased to conduct business. So if you are in dialogue with any individual purporting to be Julie Malcolm or purporting to be any affiliate of the Julie Malcolm Foundation, that person is not being honest with you, you are being duped, you are being scammed. The Julie Malcolm Foundation is not in any contractual agreement with any person or any organization to facilitate the shipping of educational supplies to Jamaica, nor are we in any agreement with any person or any individual to transact business on our behalf. So there's no high school, there's no college, there's no university, there's no community group, there's no principal, vice principal, community member, there's no ministry, religious, secular, or government with authorization to transact business on behalf of the Julie Malcolm Foundation. If you have been in dialogue with anybody aside from me, Julie Malcolm, in the flesh, not online, regarding any contributions to the Julie Malcolm Foundation, you need to stop immediately because you are being duped. If you have engaged with anyone online who displayed my photograph in a conversation with you while engaging in discourse related to the donation of supplies or the donation of cash, you are being duped. They may have used my photograph, but the voice and the motive behind the photograph was not mine. The Julie Malcolm Foundation has been having issues with the Companies Office of Jamaica regarding the submission of documentation to facilitate changes to the leadership of our organization. We originally started out with 3 directors. We now have 2 directors bearing the surname Malcolm. We intended for our documentation to reflect that. However, the articles of incorporation that was submitted to request those changes, among others, has not yet been honored by the Companies Office of Jamaica. And in their emailed discourse with us, we have noticed that aside from the 2 email addresses that are associated with our organization, there is a 3rd email address that bears my full name, but to which I have absolutely no access, which is unfamiliar to me, that is being used by the Companies Office of Jamaica in their discourse with us. When we contact them via telephone, we are asked questions amounting to, did you use a bearer to drop off the information? Did you solicit the assistance of a courier service to change any of the data that you have with us? And of course, I indicated to them that I do the legwork on behalf of the organization. I am the person who sits in the office upwards of 3 hours to transact any business on behalf of the foundation. So any other person who would have engaged with them would have done so fraudulently. We are still awaiting the response of the Companies Office of Jamaica to release the documentation that was sent to them, and for them to cease and desist communicating with other entities that do not belong to the Julie Malcolm Foundation, and to only communicate with us using the official email addresses that are on our articles of incorporation that we currently have in our possession. The Julie Malcolm Foundation does not have a cash app. We do not have multiple accounts. We have one bank account with the National Commercial Bank, and that bank account has been out of operation for about 2 years. So of course we speak to any person who has had dialogue with anybody purporting to be us. Please do not send your funds to the Julie Malcolm Foundation. Please do not ship supplies to the Julie Malcolm Foundation. We have ceased operations since 2008. We are seeking to rectify the issues we are having with the Companies Office of Jamaica in terms of them releasing the new articles of incorporation to us, and them rectifying the glitches that they have regarding their email system that supposedly has allowed them to be having conversations with individuals who are claiming to be us via the email address that is on the emails that they keep sending to us. The Julie Malcolm Foundation thanks you for your support. We thank you for your kind words. We thank you for your prayers. We thank you for keeping us in mind. However, at this time, and from 2018, we have not sought to engage you in any donations, in any shipping of any supplies. We are here to protect you as well, and we're saying until further notice. This recording should be made public on the 11th of January of 2022. Until further notice, do not engage with anybody who claims to be from the Julie Malcolm Foundation unless you are speaking with me in the flesh.